Good morning! Thank you for joining me on this sunshiny, wintry morning here in Morgantown, West Virginia. It is a cold, wintry day, and I am outside in the West Run Business Park, located off of North Point Marion Road. First, I would like to thank you for watching my video yesterday where I made the big announcement that I will be starting a series of videos here in Morgantown, West Virginia, where I introduce you to businesses in town that have the same passion for real estate and customer service that I have. My name is Amy LIVEwithAmyO, and I am a realtor with KLM Properties in Morgantown, West Virginia, 1533 Mile Ground Road. But today I'm not there. I am at the paint store. The paint store is by far one of my favorite places because of the impact that painting can have on your home. Everybody always asks me as a realtor, what can I do that's an easy fix to not only improve the value of my home, but make it more marketable and update it? That's always a question people have. The simple solution is paint. It doesn't take much, a little bit of elbow grease, and sometimes bringing in a professional to paint if you're too busy or it's a big project. Well, enough is enough. Let's go inside. I'd like to introduce you to the manager, Josh Poling. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Josh. Josh has been the manager at the paint store for how many years?
2 years now.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got here?
I graduated college from Davis and Elkins. The owners was actually from my hometown, Parsons. He decided that Morgantown was a great location to open a paint store because of all the construction going on. He kind of asked me if I wanted to take this one and run with it, and I told him that I did.
Well, Josh and I got to know each other when he started helping me with the first renovation of a fixer-upper that my husband and I did. My contractor recommended Benjamin Moore paint because it's excellent paint. Can you tell us about Benjamin Moore?
Absolutely. Benjamin Moore is a well-known company. They actually are #1 in customer satisfaction as far as J.D. Power goes. They have excellent interior and exterior paints as far as industrial. We carry a wide selection of commercial grade for all the building going on here, such as complexes and things like that. That would be our UltraSpec 500 line here. It comes in all the mini sheens, flat, low sheen, eggshell, semi-gloss, and gloss.
Can you explain that a little bit? Because I tell you, one time I sent my husband for flat paint or eggshell paint, and he thought I meant to buy eggshell paint, the color.
Okay, that happens quite often too. Whenever I ask people what sheen they want, they really don't know exactly what they're looking for. Flat is a paint that hides a lot of imperfections in drywall.
Okay.
However, it is not very scrubbable. So if you're looking for, like, if you have kids or a high traffic area or something like that, you're not going to want to put a flat or even really a low sheen paint in there.
Okay.
You'd want to go more like your eggshell because it is a much more scrubbable finish.
Okay, so when you have those messy handprints all over, or college kids,
yes,
it is a great way to have paint that you can actually clean.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then what would you use interior semi-gloss for, or?
Semi-gloss and gloss is really personal preference as far as trim goes. These are a lot of the paints that people will use on trim because it'll offset the trim from the walls a lot more too.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you show me your colors that you have available?
Absolutely. Benjamin Moore offers over 3,500 different colors to choose from.
Wow, 3,500?
Yeah. We have a lot of different classifications as well. There's the Benjamin Moore Classic colors. Historicals are very popular colors. They date from like the 1800s to the 1900s. The Affinity collection creates a nice flow to a house. You can actually take any color and match it with another color in the Affinity collection, and it'll create a flow to your entire house.
So if you're somebody that doesn't know a lot about paint, but you're trying to repaint the inside of your home and not have it mismatch, you're recommending Affinity because the colors actually already coordinate with each other?
Exactly. Somebody spent a lot of time in creating this color chart here. So you can actually take any collar and take it down anywhere else, and they will actually flow together.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I really like that. I know that I personally struggle to pick paint color, and I've gone through quite a bit of samples. They do sell small sample cans. On my exterior paint jobs, I did buy, I don't know, maybe 6. Do you remember, Josh?
It was several.
I mean, it was a lot.
It was a lot of colors.
And when I was working on the inside paint jobs, I did the same thing. Man, I must have picked 10, but you know what? It wasn't wasted money. It helped me pick great colors that ended up really looking sharp. And I want to mention that something that Josh did for me that really was so helpful. He started saving the colors that I would pick labeled by project. Since I personally invest in real estate, we renovate properties, we rent properties, and of course I sell them and help people buy them as a realtor. I had a lot of properties to manage and figure out which one went to what. So he was able to label them by my house, what room I'm putting them in. So for somebody that's busy with a lot on their mind, as I know most of you are like me in that way, I didn't have to keep those little paint chips. I could come in and say, hey Josh, I ran out of paint for the kitchen. And he's able to pull that up for me. I think that's a really unique feature about the well, let's see here. So you can, ways to improve your home's value be obviously to paint high traffic areas, maybe neutralize bold colors, taking them from maybe those bright bolds that you might have had. There was a time where reds and orange and greens were really popular. Now sometimes as an accent around a front door. But also, you might want to paint your kitchen or your bathroom. Let's talk about decks and fences.
Okay. That would, if you're wanting to stain your deck or fences, we have Arbor Coat here. It comes in a translucent finish, a semi-transparent finish, a semi-solid, and a solid. If your deck has been worn and not stained for quite some time, a semi-solid or solid would be the way to go. That way it can cover a lot of the areas that are rough and wore. I've seen a lot of decks that haven't been stained for 19 to 20 years, and they're stained and they look like a brand new deck. It really is a good way to, like you said, add curb appeal necessarily to the way your deck looks. And it can really make your front deck just remodel the entire look of your house.
That's great. So if I'm somebody who is looking to repaint my home, say in the spring or the summer, when should I start the process?
I would start the sooner the better, mainly because a lot of people run out of time in the fall, so a lot of people start scheduling spring work in the fall. So people already are getting on painters' list and things like that. So the sooner you can do it, the better. That way, you know, I mean, you're first on the list. Most painters probably, I'd say, by spring are already a month or 2 months out. So the sooner you can get on a painter's list, definitely the better. So I mean, if you're looking to get your exterior paint now or painted in the spring, I'd start now.
You know, I actually have been talking to Josh about a job that I have. He's providing me an estimate for another property that a fresh coat of paint would really be the trick to fixing it up. The paint store does actually do exterior and interior painting. It's a perfect fit because you're working with the people picking your paint and then they're actually doing the paint job. So I highly recommend giving them a call to get that estimate. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about the process of painting a home? Like what things
the first process is we go out and do an estimate on it. We take the square footage so we can find out exactly how much material we would need. We do include that in our quote. That way, if it's more than what we quoted, then it's not on the customer. Then they're not saying, why is it taking so much extra paint? So we include the price of that in there. And then what we do is we come out and take a look at it. We do the quote, we do the measurements, and then I come back, I work up a quote, I email it over to the customer, and then we can kind of take a look at it together, go over it, and then what we do is we schedule from there. So then, you know, I mean, we'll figure out a day that's good for both people, because sometimes, you know, I mean, vacation, stuff like that, always during the summer is tough. But outside, we watch the weather very carefully too, because weather is important.
How do you know if a house is too dry or too wet to paint?
A lot of the times you can kind of, boards will be very soft if it's too wet. You can tell a lot of the times with some of the houses in Morgantown being quite a bit older, they were probably painted with oil-based paint. So if that's the case, we got to go through and examine if it was oil-based or not. And then if it is, then we have to go over it with actually an oil-based primer, because if you, all of our exterior paints are water-based, because Benjamin is very environmentally friendly. So we'd have to go over it with an oil-based primer and then go over it with a water-based top coat. That way it would bond correctly, because if you didn't do that, then you'd have blisters and bubbles and it would be a nightmare.
Yikes, that is bad.
Yeah, you'd have a nightmare.
Okay.
Yep.
So the steps. So if I'm hearing you correctly, the steps to doing the paint job, we get an estimate.
Yes.
And we pick colors, we talk about what needs to be done, and then you make sure that the house is dry. Do you power wash the house before you start painting it?
Absolutely. You would power wash the house and get rid of, a lot of times the power wash will take care of flaking paint and things like that already. And then it'll also get rid of mildew and things like that. Sometimes if there's a lot of mildew or dirt, you'll have to put in a detergent in the pressure washer. That way it'll take off all the mildew and things like that. Because if you try and paint over that, it's not gonna bond at all.
Well, and we want the paint jobs to last, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is there any warranty on Benjamin Moore paint?
Benjamin Moore, actually, if you want to take a look here, the Ultra Spec exterior, which is actually our more commercial exterior grade paint, it does come with a 25-year warranty.
Wow, that's a long time. That might be as long as the time somebody actually might own a home before they move on.
Now our high build has a lifetime warranty on it.
Wow. Now, what's a lifetime considered?
I don't know. I'm guessing whoever bought the paint. But the lifetime warranty, those warranties aren't against fading, though. Those are the one things that they don't cover is fading.
That's important to know, because houses are going to fade in the sunshine.
Exactly, and with the West Virginia weather, a lot of times, I mean, the winters and things, and then the sun and everything like that, paint does eventually fade. I will say that, I mean, the fading doesn't really happen. I mean, it does take a long time until the fading does start. I mean, lifetime warranty as far as cracking, peeling.
Oh, but that's great, because I don't know of a lot of companies that offer that with their paint, and you know, this is a high quality paint. Josh, I'd like to thank you for bringing here. Let me get us both in here. Let's both get in here. Oh, there's paint, people. I'd like to thank you, Josh, for allowing us to join you here at the paint store today and learn about the process of painting your house. For those of you on Facebook that did join us live, thank you. I mean, I'm surprised. Are you surprised?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I hope that you come and find the paint store, and that you get started on those projects you've been putting off. Start on the inside now. It's not too late to start doing some painting at night. It's already cold. Who wants to go outside? Paint some walls in your house.
Exactly. If you're stuck in there, you might as well paint.
That's right. Keep yourself busy. And get your estimate for getting your paint done on the exterior. It's a great way to improve your curb appeal. You know, look at same color would be the most cost effective, but if you want to make it more modern, change the color. Pick some new colors that are popular right now. Benjamin Moore has some great recommendations online. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Thanks again. Come out, check out the paint store. And remember, I'm Amy Oliverio, a realtor with KLM Properties. Josh and I are both passionate about real estate and customer service. We want to help you with your home. Have a great day.